Florida's red tide continues to kill marine life, leaving many residents to clean up the mess. The toxic algae bloom has prompted a state of emergency in Florida, and no one knows just how long it's going to last.
The red tide is a form of algae that grows seasonally in the region. While residents are used to the phenomena, it has never lasted this long, but there may be a way to prevent another red tide like this from happening. Here with us to talk about how we could possibly prevent such a long red tide is TV star and partner at Gold Seal Industries, John O'Hurley. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good.
Yes,
But I got to tell you, a lot of these images we've been seeing really disturbing.
They actually are, and
Yeah.
this has been let's begin with the idea that red tide is a naturally occurring phenomenon. It happens all over. It is the preponderance of algae that is collecting there in blooming on the west coast that is the issue.
But is it normal to have this level?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
So obviously something is causing a concentration of algae somewhere, and it's been kind of focused on the Lake Okeechobee area, which is the feeder, of course, the large feeder into the ocean, and that's where the problem is, and that's probably where the solution is. So we have a technology. Gold Seal Industries, we're a Vegas-based firm. And we have a technology that is proprietary and singular in the world. And basically, we can take any form of waste, or in this case, algae, turn it into energy, but with zero emissions.
This sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, it is.
That's cool.
Let me give you the fourth grade.
Please.
The fourth grade of this
Can you do
is
second grade? I don't know how complicated this is going to be.
If you remember Back to the Future,
yeah.
He drops the banana peel into the car, and it's essentially the flux capacitor, but on a larger scale. We take any form of waste, we break it down in a heated vacuum, so no oxygen added, no carbon emitted. That's the simple principle. It breaks down, it forms a synthetic gas. That gas can be turned into anything you want to use. You can do a liquid fuel out of it, you can turn it right into electricity, or you can use it simply as a replacement for natural gas in a boiler or anything like that. Now, in this case, what we would be doing is taking the unit that we have, and these are large units, but it would be taking the water there in Okeechobee and through a dilution factor, would be actually processing all of this algae before it ever got to the ocean. So we'd be creating energy out of the algae, and you create that's money.
Yeah.
So in other words, the algae, instead of being a liability, is now an unexplored asset.
Right.
So you can actually make money. And I'll go one step farther. We have an investor that's already willing to put the unit into that area there at a zero-cost lease for the state of Florida. All they have to do is just sign off on it.
Okay, so you've tested this.
Oh yes, yeah, we have it working. I have a demonstration. We have a demonstration unit in Las Vegas. We are now working with the Pentagon to design special units for the expeditionary forces in Afghanistan. Because what do they have? They have waste. What don't they have? Fuel. Right. So they're self-contained now.
Well, that was
and again, they don't use any power. They're off the grid. They are self-powering. Once they start, they power themselves off the waste.
So that was sort of my question, which is, what are the implications, for example, for third world countries?
This is an absolute perfect solution for, let's say, island technologies. What do they have down there? They got mountains of waste. If you go to, I won't name them specifically because you'd be shamed if you knew what they actually had, but some of these islands in the Caribbean that have considered tourist destinations have 500-foot mountains of garbage that they don't know what to do with, and they're not sealed underneath. They are leaking into the water life, the reefs and everything surrounding. We solve all of that problem. We take the liability of waste and turn it into assets, because everything we do makes money.
So on that same thread, I mean, I've reported from Haiti, I've reported from some countries that it's not just tourists that sort of give that island an engine, it's because people are poor and starving and the waste
and all they have is waste and waste.
Exactly.
We also, let me take it one step further, is that we have this, using this technology, and we are working with the Navy on the design of a ship right now, to go into the South Pacific and cut up and process the plastic islands that are there. We have the technology that can do that.
So the follow-up question to that is, how do they get it? Because it's expensive, I'm guessing.
It's expensive, but it returns. Yes,
but it makes money.
It makes money.
But it makes money.
It makes money. In fact, it returns investment in 3 to 5 years. No hardware in the world does a 3 to 5 year return on investment. They do 40-year returns on investment, 3 to 5 years. That's how profitable these are. That's how much the principle of our waste as an asset must be followed right now. in
So
this
are
country.
you getting any bites? You know,
Oh,
is
yes,
Florida
we're doing,
interested or other?
Oh, we have. Well, this Florida thing just came up recently, but we did find an investor that quickly that said, "I'll put the unit up at a zero-cost lease for Florida. It won't cost them anything." So I don't know why they won't sign off on it. So Florida.
Why won't they?
I don't know.
What's the concern?
I just got this news the other day
it
from
sounds like amazing technology, but maybe the concern is that it sounds too amazing.
No, it's
the real deal.
Well, listen, the Pentagon engineers have been all the way through this. So
Right.
It's fine.
Why did you decide to get involved?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When I left Seinfeld, I continued my career as an actor, but also as an investor, and I ended up buying into the J. Peterman Company. Believe it or not,
I know.
I liked
knew
the
that,
role
yeah.
so much I bought the company. But then from there on, I've continued in private venture capital, and what I mean by that is I'm the wallet. I don't have any other partners or anything. I'm the wallet. So the reason that I'm working on Broadway every night here in the musical Chicago is to provide the money to pay for all of these companies that I try to keep afloat.
Right.
So that's my life, and I enjoy it. It's very theatrical to me, and it keeps the other side of my brain working.
But isn't it appropriate that we're talking about the red tide and he also plays King
I
Neptune on
know.
SpongeBob?
I
imitates
15,
life?
I have about 15 cartoons that I do. Yeah, I do.
So great.
It is.
It's a really fascinating technology. Thank you for coming on and sharing it with us. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it. So great to meet you.